Those goddamn cats. Fuck. Okay.
I don't think that should get picked up. Yeah.
It won't,
It
but
should be fine.
it's just funny. The little pitter patter of little feet. Amen. All right. Well,
Let's get going.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Roommates Twice Removed. I'm Gracie.
I'm Justin.
And we're here again. It's been a while.
They don't know that.
A lot has happened, but we know that.
But we know
and so
that,
I
yes.
feel like I need to address it.
That's fair.
A lot has happened. Namely, we have a wing restaurant volleyball championship winner right here, right now.
Listen.
Not to brag.
No, I appreciate you bringing it up. Something I'm very proud of. I've been working very hard on. I work
110%.
Yes. It's taken up, you can ask Zoe, it's taken up many a nights recently, training for this. The place I work at, they twice a year they shut down for like an employee appreciation day.
They shut down for the fucking Olympics.
Yes. So one of them is a Christmas party, and then the other one is practically the Olympics, it's closer to field day, honestly, than the Olympics.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Krusty Krab games.
Yes. It's just we go to a park and compete. There's like tug of war and dodgeball. There's like ring toss. Limbo was one of the Yeah, and then depending on and you compete against the other stores, right, in like the area, and then you get points based off how you place, and then the event that I was competing in was the sand volleyball event.
Not only competing but kicking ass. Taking names.
Listen, I don't want to overstate our victory. But
how close was the score?
First round, we won by 15. And
I don't know a lot about volleyball, but 15 sounds like a lot.
That's a lot of points. It's hard to do that. And then
it's hard to do that.
Pretty difficult, but we went out there and got the job done. And then we only had to play 2 games. It was the first game, then we were in the championship.
All right.
Yeah. So and then
short, sweet.
The championship game we won by 10. And
that was still a pretty heavy margin.
Exactly. And we were playing a bad game. Like, that is not as good as we...
And we were playing a bad game and we won by
That's not as good as we usually play with each other. And we still won. And then at the end, not only did we just win sand volleyball, we also won the entire event because they had a score. So,
see, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
It was very... I don't know. I think I got too excited about it. I was like genuinely we were all so happy afterwards.
That's awesome. No, I mean, because that's fun. That's really fun. I wish that like more adult things like that happen. Like in the workplace, like that's fun. We need to go back to that. We need to go back to play.
I got to see my managers drunk because like afterwards they go to a bar, like they rent out a bar.
Oh, that's
and so
beautiful.
I got to see, and I'm like, this is beautiful. This is awesome. These people are usually yelling at me at work, and now they're just like,
they're normal
hugging
people.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I feel like there's something so special about being drunk with your coworkers, which is something that I do miss about being a nanny because I can't, that would be really problematic to be drunk with
some coworker.
A now 6-year-old and an almost 4-year-old. That would raise some questions.
Definitely.
And probably land me in jail.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to do that. But I do miss that part about, being an adult and working and having adult coworkers is just like doing fun stuff like that. That's cool. Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Champion.
Have you done anything since we last spoke of note?
Yesterday was a big day.
Yesterday
was a big day. It was a marathon. Our glue for this podcast, Grace, got their wisdom teeth out. 8 a.m, bright and early. Zoe and I, producer Zoe, took Grace to get her wisdom teeth out. We tailgated in the parking lot. We gaslit her into thinking that we cooked hot dogs in the parking lot.
Yesterday
on a camping
was also
stove.
When I became a champion.
Yes,
Both
big,
of us,
big things. It was
big
like
Tuesdays,
the part in High School Musical where they're doing the Scholastic Decathlon and the basketball championship. That was
yes,
the group. So Yeah. They weren't as high as I thought they were going to be, to be honest.
They were fine.
She was
I saw them,
completely fine. And I think it's just, all the times we've been high together that really just a little funny, little giggly, but nothing crazy. Like, I saw the video of you after you got your wisdom teeth out. And
very different reaction.
It was a very different reaction. Very, very different reaction. Hilarious.
Thank you.
Great work.
Yeah.
Great work. I also saw the video of Zoe after she got her wisdom teeth out, and that was hilarious. That made me laugh. So, yeah, that's what we did yesterday. We woke up. I spent the night over here. And we woke up to Zoe busting in the room, going at 7:30 a.m., "When I say wisdom, you say teeth. Wisdom." And then, of course, we had to go teeth. We had to go teeth with it. So it was great. Teeth. And we jumped out of bed and we went, and she got her wisdom teeth yanked out, came back, was not swollen. Miraculously.
Have you gotten your wisdom teeth out?
Oh, no. I've got all 4 of those suckers in my skull. They're halfway in, halfway out.
Can I be honest? It kind of upset me how fine Grace is after her wisdom teeth.
I know, but that's the thing. I think it's her attitude about everything she does. She's like, nothing bad can ever happen to me, and nothing ever does, knock on wood. Nothing ever does. Because it's like, she just goes into every situation hoping for the best, and the best always finds her. So I think we have a lot to learn. But she was like, oh yeah, she's moving to a national park this summer. She's gone right now.
Just left, yeah.
Just left. And so hey, this is going to come out while you're at that national park. But shout out Grace. Like, got her wisdom teeth out 36 hours prior to then driving that whole way out
where
of
were
state.
You 36 hours after your wisdom teeth got taken out?
I mean, I still have all 4 in my skull, but 36 hours after I get my wisdom teeth out, inevitably I will be in the couch.
Yeah.
In the couch.
Inside, yes.
Inside the couch. I will be rotting, decomposing into the couch.
I think I was falling asleep while watching Encanto 36 hours after my wisdom teeth were out.
Good. Yeah, and she's driving quite literally cross country.
Yep.
So, yeah, and she wanted a French dip sandwich this morning, apparently. So
she allowed to eat that yet?
No.
Okay, good.
No. But she wanted it. I don't know if she actually got it, and she just lied to Zoe and said she didn't. But you watching the video, the video did cut out. Yeah. It's fine. It's really not a podcast recording session with roommates twice removed. If something does not go horribly wrong and we don't lose a chunk of audio or video or both.
As far as mistakes go that we've made so far in very limited amount of episodes we've done, we found this one pretty quickly. Yeah. So all should be fine.
It's all good. Like I said earlier, we're growing, we're evolving, we're changing. We're taking it in stride.
Exactly.
It's good. So
one of these days we'll get one.
One of these days we'll get one without a technical difficulty. Maybe. But it is what it is. Yeah. It's fine. It's all good. I was saying something about the afterlife. Yeah. Spooky.
It's not even Halloween
yet. It's not Halloween. And we'll probably revisit this around Halloween time because it's appropriate. But this episode is going to be about ghosts and spirituality and stuff like that. Because I know almost with 100% certainty, knowing everything I know about Justin, this man does not believe in ghosts.
Yep.
Okay. And knowing everything you know about me, do you think I believe in ghosts?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, I want to know what you think about the afterlife then. Because in order to get a full picture of ghosts and what you do and you don't believe in, I need to know, like, what do you think happens after you die?
So here's the thing, right? I think if we're being for realsies, right?
So for real.
Deep in my heart, it's like I'm almost positive that once you die, it's lights out, bye-bye, right?
Okay.
But, that is just so depressing and terrifying of a thought that,
is it?
I think it's that thought, because people are like, what's it like after you die? And they're just like, well, what was it like before you were born?
Yeah.
There was just nothing. Like and the human brain cannot comprehend nothing.
Right.
Because when you think of nothing, it's like, oh, you just think of like a black void. But it's
but
like, no, that's something.
And also we center ourselves in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, because to me that thought is so horrifying, I have to like choose to believe like or leave hope that maybe there is something else. I think heaven might be a stretch.
Okay.
But maybe some sort of afterlife might be or like reincarnation would be cool.
Okay.
I doubt that happens, but
okay.
I don't know. That's where I'm at. Where are you at with the whole ordeal?
So, being a nanny, this question comes up a lot with
Really?
the kiddos.
Are they at that age already?
At 8 in the morning. At 8 in the morning. I'm not going to say their real names.
Half a Dutch Bros coffee in, and these kids are all.
I hate Dutch Bros, but yeah. But yeah.
Insert coffee
I mean,
brand.
you have maybe 20 milligrams of caffeine flowing through your system.
It hasn't even gotten there
You're
yet.
serving the kids cereal,
Yeah.
and you've got at the time 5-year-old in your ear going, Gracie, what happens after you die? But I'll never forget the first time I was asked this question by the older kid. We'll call him Sean. Sure. That's not even close to his real name.
We're not going to remember that, but
I'll try.
For this episode,
I'll try. And if I slip up, then we'll just have our producer
Sean.
Zoe.
It's just like over
Sean. Cut it out because I don't want to violate the privacy.
Yes.
But Sean asks me, so what happens when we die? And I was like, damn. I don't know. So I try really hard to be honest with them, and I don't want to put my own thoughts in their head. So I just said, well, everybody thinks something a little different, but nobody actually knows 100%. Some people think they know 100%, and they do believe that, and that's true to them. But what you believe is up to you. What you decide is up to you.
Good answer.
And you just have to figure it out for yourself. And he goes, well, do we just restart? And just made a little circle with his finger. And I went, well, some people do believe that. Some people believe that you come back as a person or, another creature, and that's just what happens. But I don't know. I don't really know what I think. And he said, well, I think you just restart. I think you just come back as a baby. And his younger sister, Jane, also thinks that. And they go to they went to Christian preschool and everything, which is
that's not what they teach.
That's not consistent with that at all. And I don't really know where their parents stand religiously. I know their grandparents are kind of religious. So it's I don't know. I don't really know exactly where I stand, but I think that everybody's a little bit right.
Whoa.
I think that nobody's really wrong.
Okay.
I talked a little bit in the last episode. Damn. This is a little bit deep. I talked a little bit in the last episode about growing up pretty religious. By pretty religious, I mean very religious. Let's be real. Very religious. Granddad is Baptist deacon, pillar of the church. And I grew up believing very strongly in a heaven for Christians only and a hell for everybody else.
Yeah.
So to me, heaven and hell is hard to grapple with. And I think that that's just a little bit too intense and too binary for me, personally.
Yeah.
But I think about when my grandparents passed, and I just always think they believed 100% full well in a heaven. And I don't think that there's any way that they didn't make it there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I necessarily belong in that idea of heaven. So whatever happens, I'm kind of chill with it because I'll be dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's necessarily wrong. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know if you get to choose. I don't know if what you believe is your reality. I don't know. I'm just cool, and I'm cool with not knowing. I'm really cool with not knowing. I'm not really scared of death, but I believe in spirits. I believe in ghosts, but I don't know exactly the mechanics of that, and I'm chill with it. But I do think that spirits are around, energy's around. We're just energy. So it's a convoluted answer, but in short, who the fuck knows? And ghosts real? Perhaps.
Yeah. So as far as the ghost discussion goes, where I get, there's a lot of, like you said, safe to say I'm a skeptic of the whole thing.
Right. And I expected that.
And where my skepticism really roots in, right, is you start crunching the numbers. There have been how many people have died? So many.
So many people.
And then why are only some people sometimes seeing part of a spirit? And then that's it. And it's like, it's one of those things to where it can very easily, to me, come off as just people like who want to see those things, and so they end up seeing those things.
And it could be that. I think that maybe we're all given different abilities. We all have a different, I guess, reality. I don't think reality and truth are interchangeable also. That's a whole different conversation. So when I say like everyone has a different reality, I don't think that truth is objective or subjective. I think that truth is objective, but reality is not.
Is subjective.
But reality is subjective. So everybody has a different reality. Everyone has a different perception. And so, you know, who's to say? Who's to say? I don't think that if somebody sees a shadow person, which I'll get into, they're necessarily wrong. Like I said, I think that, you know, nothing is 100% true for everybody.
Okay.
Necessarily.
Then let me ask you this.
To qualify that.
A ghost, I'm just going to call them ghosts for the sakes of simplicity, right? But ghost, right?
Ghost.
Where do you stand on what creates a ghost? Is it like, do they have unfinished business, or are they just out there chilling? Are we catching glimpses of the other side? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is it like the Zach Baggins, like ghost hunting, like this person was murdered before they were able to finish their novel or whatever, and so they haunt the halls of this abandoned school?
Yeah, I don't know if it's unfinished business. I don't know if it's people stuck. I feel like that kind of sucks. That's like kind of like a purgatory situation. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe if you feel like you're gonna haunt a place, you're gonna. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the mechanics of a ghost would be.
Can they leave? Like, how come like some?
I feel like you could leave.
Like some people are like, oh, my, like, you know, like my dog is talking to like my grandma or whatever.
Your dog is talking to your grandma.
And it's like the grandma like found your house that you moved in like 20 years after she died, and like decided to talk to your dog instead of you. That's okay. I sound like an asshole right now, but like that's where I'm like super skeptic about it. Where
I think there's so much room to be skeptical, but I do think there's like, just like we can't comprehend death, I don't think we can fully comprehend spirituality. I think some things stuck around from my religious upbringing, and it's just, some things are just bigger than us, and instead of trying to make sense of them and really get into the nitty gritty and put my own human brain spin on it, I'm just gonna accept that there's some shit that I can't understand.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. And I'm comfortable with that. And I'm not trying to dig too deep into it. But what I do know is that there is like some spiritual shit happening in the world.
Okay.
At any given time. Did you grow up religious? I don't think we got into this. I don't really remember.
No, never grew up.
Like, not at all?
No. I mean, like, my mom was, she went to like Catholic school, like all the way up until high school. And
I feel like that's a way to ensure that your kid's not Catholic.
Exactly. And then my dad grew up like Baptist or just something. I don't know. Like his parents just took
And see, it's always the Catholics and the Baptists.
I don't know. And then they created me, and then like we never went to, or like we went through like phases where we'd go to
like
church.
Easter.
Yeah, but it's like we never like, it was never like every Sunday get up at 8 a.m. We're going to church, right?
So you just don't really like.
I never like
give a damn.
I don't know like the lore of the Bible. Like I've had to learn. Like I've had to like actively seek out like stories in the Bible.
Okay.
In order to like learn like the history of it and stuff. Because I don't like I never like grew up with it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like I'll like see a Bible quote and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I've never heard of that. And people are like, what? Like that's like
interesting.
Yeah.
So you're the people that when I was in the church, I was being quote unquote called to witness to you because you don't know anything about God.
Oh,
yeah.
And it was your duty.
It was my duty as a second grader to save you.
Let me tell you, a lot of
this is actually the point of the podcast. I'm gonna get you into heaven, buddy.
Actually been lying to you the whole time.
I am devout and I'm trying to convert you. No, but I mean, I guess that makes sense that you would be skeptical. My whole life was literally just revolving around spirituality and spiritual warfare. Like, and, you know, that whole situation. And there's this one story in the Bible that my like granddad always referenced to like not go to psychics and not go to mediums and like not be into tarot cards. Yikes. Cause I'm into all of those. Yikes. But, it's like Saul or somebody summoned like the spirit of Samuel through a medium, and the guy was like, don't ever do this. You need to consult God and not the dead. And that was like a huge thing. Yeah, I don't know. So like, I guess it's like a pipeline from like religious to like spiritual.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's correct.
I think
that was a little highbrow Bible story wise.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. I just like I don't know. Yeah,
we need to go on a ghost tour.
You see, that would be sick. And then like
I would shit because I believe in it. You'd be like fucking whatever.
Well, I always say to people, I'm like, I don't believe in ghosts until it's 3 a.m. and I hear a noise in the kitchen.
Absolutely. In the fucking witching hour.
Demons are real.
Demons are real.
Demons are real. Yeah, I'm about to get sucked down to hell. Yeah. But
sucked down to hell.
So do you have I know you did some research for this episode. It's not as much
research as anecdotes.
Okay, so it's all personal anecdotes.
So not necessarily.
Oh.
Here's the situation.
Okay.
We have callers this week.
But
they're not live, unfortunately.
No, okay.
They're not live. So I wanted to start this one out. My nanny kids really heavily believe in ghosts. They really love the spooky shit. They really love Halloween.
Okay.
They so believe in it. And I got this idea that I texted you about from Jane.
Okay.
From Jane, who is about to turn 4. I've been with this family since she was 1, like had just turned 1. So about 3 years now. Yeah. And we were under the covers in her room. We made a tent. We had a little lantern on. And her and Sean took turns telling me ghost stories that they had made up. So I want to share with you, Jane.
My God.
Tell us your ghost story.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl named a ghost girl.
Named Ghost Girl.
And it had a big family with him, little brother.
Mm-hmm.
And one night, the little girl sneaked out of the house without opening the door. She went under.
Went under what?
Went under the door, and she found a book delivered by the mailman.
At the river by the mailman? Oh my goodness, what was the mailman doing there?
It was calling for help.
Calling for help with the book? Oh my goodness.
It was in water, and a ghost come to save him. He was a mean ghost.
A mean ghost?
Yeah, it was a boyfriend.
It was the girl's boyfriend was the mean ghost? Oh my gosh! That's the craziest plot twist ever! Okay, well, keep going.
Do I want to tell you?
Wait. Was your story all done, or did you have more to say?
That was all done. Okay.
Wow.
Can I tell you
Girl, that was crazy. I loved that.
Can I tell you a Minecraft story?
Can I tell you a Minecraft story? So, and that's Sean, the older one. Can I tell you a Minecraft story?
Can I tell you a Minecraft story?
He's really into Minecraft right now. And we play Minecraft all the time. But so what'd you think of that? I feel that was pretty convincing.
Honestly, I think she has what it takes.
I really think that she's
was
a storyteller.
Great arc. I mean, she had the setup.
And her cadence fucking cracks me up. It cracks me up.
She went under.
And she went under.
Under what?
And her had a big
Jane?
family with him little brother.
But then the little brother's not part of the story at all. It's
No.
little daughter.
The daughter who has a boyfriend who's a mean ghost who rescues the mailman by the river with the book. She's got it.
No. The mailman is calling for help. I guess because maybe he's limited. Maybe his vocal cords are limited somehow, so he has to write in the book "help," and it delivers it.
Who knows?
At the river.
Who knows? Are your neighbors fighting? You think?
Maybe. I hope so. Maybe it's a ghost. Ooh. That's fantastic.
Isn't that fantastic?
I think kids naturally are drawn to ghosts. I think because it's such a fascinating idea. And
I think they're more connected than us.
Oh,
I think they're not as skeptical.
Interesting. They haven't grown up to be cynical assholes like me yet.
It's true. It's true. It is true. So they believe full well in ghosts, and I figured that was a good way to kick this off.
Okay.
So you're skeptical about ghost stories in general.
Yeah.
So me saying last episode, when I was awake in my crib, when I was a little child, and I'm talking to the corner of the rocking chair.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, who I don't think believed in ghosts at all.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Again, I keep saying that.
You were talking. Sorry.
I was talking. Okay. Let me back up. My grandmother, Arlene Kimball. Yes, ma'am. She has 3 siblings.
Yes.
Her youngest sibling, Doug, passed away when I was very small. And I don't know what the situation was. I was way too young to grasp death. I don't think that I really knew him that well at that point because I was so tiny. He died. And a couple days later, I think, weeks perhaps, I was standing up. They knew I was awake when I was a baby because I would stand up and I would sing and I would talk. I don't know.
Born to be a performer.
I'm in. And so I was just talking and my grandmother came in and was like, well, hey, Gracie, what are you doing? This is from her account. I don't fucking remember this. And I looked at her and I stopped like giggling and laughing and I looked at her and I went, I'm talking to Uncle Doug. And she went, oh my God. And it freaked her out. And she took me out of the room. And that was that. And they told that story like it was shocking. But Uncle Doug did come to visit my Auntie M, who's their older sister, in dreams and stuff. So he was around.
Okay.
He was around, yeah.
I'm going to tell you the 2 things of that story that make me skeptical.
Okay.
One, this is from her account, not yours. Straight up, people lie sometimes.
She was not a liar.
I don't think she would lie about it.
Not too much on my grandmother.
Not calling your
not too much on Mimi.
Not calling your grandmother a liar.
Amen.
But just naturally, it's like okay, right? You don't remember a thing about it, so it's like it's almost like it's a third party story, right?
It almost is like it's a third party story. You're right.
And the other part is losing a sibling. That's like very, very traumatizing. And that's a very big event to happen in your life. And so people can often feel like just, I don't know, weird. It's just a very weird, big shift to happen in someone's life.
Yeah.
And so
younger sibling especially.
Exactly. And that could lead someone, once again, not calling you a liar, lead someone to misinterpret a baby just being a baby.
Well, I did say I was talking to him. And mind you, Justin Eggert. I was speaking in full sentences at like 10 months old.
That's
like
impressive.
I came out
Had
of the
you met
womb.
Uncle Doug at this point?
Yes.
So like.
So I would recognize him if he was in the room.
Yeah.
I didn't know him. I don't know if I knew him super well. I don't know how much he came around. Like, but I would recognize him.
And it's like, and then like, where do you draw the line? It's just like, what if you were just like playing pretend? Like, oh, I'm talking to Uncle Doug. Like, oh, I'm talking to Mr. Wiggles. You know what I'm saying?
But I didn't really do that. That wasn't really the vibe for me.
Okay. All right.
I was a very skeptical child also. I don't know. I can't
10 months old?
I can't speak to how I was as you know, an infant.
Yeah.
But like, I did not believe things when I was a kid. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like my parents would take me to church, into like kiddie church. They'll tell the story like it's the most hilarious thing ever. But so if you know me in real life, you know I've always been a hater from the get.
Yeah.
They would take me to church, and the youth pastor, children's pastor would be like doing a puppet show or whatever, and I'd be like, this is stupid. Puppets, like, get real. I'm like 3. Get real. Are you serious? Y'all like this? Y'all think Jesus is in this room right now? Like, please. So I wasn't really falling for like the kiddie, like, oh, he's coming to visit you. Like, I just,
yeah.
I wasn't in for that.
Okay.
It took a little bit more convincing for me to like fall for all of that.
Yeah. They're like, okay, this one's gonna need our extra.
Yeah, this
extra
one's
attention.
Extra. And then they put me in Christian school from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Oopsies.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. That's my account with it.
Yeah.
I also have to say, I know a lot of skeptical people.
Mm.
Not everybody is like woo-woo, believes in another realm as I do. Namely being my uncle. A lot of uncle talk, but this is my mom's brother.
Okay.
My aunt told me this, and this stuck with me, freaked me out a little bit. They live in a very big house. They're the first people who have ever lived in that house. They're the first people who have ever lived in that house, and they've lived in it like for as long as I've been alive, I guess. So I've got people in the house. I'm setting the scene here. My aunt, my uncle, my 2 cousins, and my aunt's mom, and then my cousin's girlfriend, who's like, they're our age.
Okay.
And they've been together for like forever. So she's been in the house a lot.
Gotcha.
They're all very skeptical. They don't believe in this kind of thing.
Okay.
They're Christian, but I don't feel that they're particularly like devout. I can't speak for their beliefs, but it just doesn't seem like they like eat, sleep, and breathe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know, no shade. Like, I feel like that's just like casual Christian is so chill. You know what I mean? I feel that my uncle, on his core, is a hater. And again, I don't really know him that well. We're not that tight. We're not that tight, I guess, but he is a hater. And he'll call out the shit that he does not believe. And they are all in agreement that they had shadow people in their house. Like, he's not...
I don't mean to laugh, I'm sorry.
I think... No, truly, though. Because the thing is, like, if anybody else had told me the story, if, like, one of, like, the spiritual people that I know in my life told me the story, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what really gets me is when the really skeptical people are like, oh, no, I saw it. I saw it, and it was real. Basically, my aunt told me that they all convinced themselves they were crazy. And then one night, they were all sitting in the living room, and they literally saw a dark figure run across like the upstairs hallway, because they have like 2 stories, and and they all like looked at each other and they were like, wait, you saw that, right? Nobody was drinking, like nothing. They were like sober family time vibes. And they're like, damn, that's weird. My younger cousin, who's like 7, 8 years younger, said that like the Hat Man like the Hat Man would show up at his bed and like choke him out. He would have like mad sleep paralysis. My cousin that's our age would get out of the shower and there would be like kid-sized handprints on the mirror in the steam. Which there are no kids living in that house, and he is the only person in that bathroom. And they would see shadow people out of the corner of their eye, and shit would get moved around and whatever else. And they were all sitting in the living room again. I think it was just like my aunt, my cousin, and his girlfriend. And the TV wasn't on or anything. And they're all sitting around, and they were talking about, yeah, like, I've seen the shadow people. I've seen them. I've seen them. And also, my cousin, hater to his core. He is not the kind of person that would believe in that shit at all. And they will all vouch that the power flickered and the TV flickered on and off, like right as they were talking about the shadow people. And there was like no storm, there was like no outage, anything. So one day my aunt was like, open all the doors and was like, y'all are not welcome here. You need to get out. It's creeping us out. You need to leave. Bye. Like, leave now.
Talking to the shadow people.
To the shadow people.
Okay.
And she was like, I felt like a psycho, but like that's the only thing I could think to do. And they never showed up again.
Whoa.
Debunk that, Justin Eggert.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know. I think, once again, it's like you can, like them never showing up again, that could be just like the power of the mind, right?
I think that we have control over that, though. Okay. I think if there's something as an evil spirit in your house, you have the power to get rid of it.
See, I believe in visions. I believe in what happens when you see something hallucinations, right?
I was going to say like a premonition.
Yeah, no, like a hallucination.
Do you believe in premonitions?
Like you can like tell like what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
Like, you get the sense of it.
Yeah.
No.
What?
What?
You don't believe in premonitions?
What? I can sense what's about to happen like that.
Like the intuition, like in your gut, like I know that this is going to play out this certain way, and I can tell. I can see it in my mind's eye.
That's just intuition. That's not like a.
But a premonition, I think, is a little bit stronger than that. Comes to you in a dream. You don't believe in that? Justin Eggert.
I think you can have strong visions of like, ooh, or like a prediction of like, ooh, I think that's gonna happen.
But that's gonna be a premonition. That is gonna be a premonition.
That's just like a strong gut feeling. That's
gonna be a premonition. That's
Okay. Is there something mystical about that, or is it just?
I think that's just part of being a person. I think we're spiritual beings.
I'm coming off as the villain of this episode.
You are the villain of this episode. You're the villain. Period.
The one here's to balance this out.
Okay.
Right. Here's the one spiritual, or I guess we'll call it two spiritual things.
Okay.
That have happened in my life. Right. The first one was after both my grandparents passed away within like a month of each other. And
Damn.
It was like the first like death.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
That was the more.
Damn.
That was more sensitive. That was the more.
Fuck.
Yeah. Jesus. No. Fuck.
Oh no. So and it was like the first like death like I had experienced.
Yeah.
Like as far as that is concerned, and it was it was tough. And we went on a boat in in California, and we because they wanted half their ashes to be like in a cemetery and then half of them to be spread in the ocean.
Okay, cute.
If the California state government is listening, we did not do that. This has all happened in Minecraft, actually, because it's a
Minecraft story.
It's against federal state law.
Oh, is it?
To throw human remains in the ocean. So this actually didn't happen. I'm talking.
They have no proof.
Talking about in a video game that this happened.
Yeah.
But we were doing it right
in Minecraft.
Yes, and there's a lot of marine life, obviously.
It's probably why you're not allowed to do that
in California, exactly. Off the coast, right? But the area that we're in is where like my uncle lives, and it's where like anytime we'd go to the beach, we'd go to this place. So I'm very familiar with the area, right? And you see different animals and stuff, and I'd never seen. We were very close to the shore. There were 2 dolphins that
were your grandparents.
That exactly, right? And they swam right by the boat, and they were like circling us. This is before we had actually spread the ashes, so it wasn't like they were attracted to the ashes or whatever. I don't know how dolphins act, but
that crazy. But I don't know if they're into
but
that.
I saw that, and it was just one of those things where I was just like, what a fucking thing to happen right now. Like I'd never seen dolphins in this area of the ocean before. So I was like, what a fucking thing to happen, right?
Yeah.
And and I was
for sure that was a sign.
Like, maybe, right? Exactly. So
for sure.
And then this one's not a specific event, but it's something that I believe in that Zoe always makes fun of me for, and that is I don't believe in coincidences.
I don't either.
I think that I don't know why, but I'm like coincidences don't happen. You're meant to do. Not that everything's scripted for you, but whatever you do is your actions and it's your act. And the fact that something happened that's like, ooh, like very similar or whatever, like that's not a coincidence.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't believe in coincidences either.
Yeah. Like
I don't necessarily know what that means.
Right.
For my spiritual beliefs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that things are random.
Yes. And because like I remember my dad told me this story of like when him and my mom, like they weren't like dating yet, but like they went on a couple dates, but they were like flirting and stuff, and they knew each other from work. They met at Disneyland, actually. Fun story.
Oh my God, that's cool.
They worked at Disneyland, and
were they characters? Or were they just like
no, they were just
hot dogs or? That's cool too.
My dad was just like a ride operator guy. Like
nice.
He was like, how many? 4, 2 here, 2 here.
Do you know what rides?
Yes. He opened Splash Mountain, actually.
Wait, Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Is there Splash Mountain? Oh, yeah. Is that the one? I've only been to Disney World and I was like in first grade.
There's a lot of Magic Kingdom or whatever in Disney World is practically Disneyland.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
So Disneyland, he opened, what did I just say? Splash Mountain.
That's cool.
He worked on Pirates of the Caribbean, which that was a big deal. That was the most popular ride for a while. He opened Captain EO, which was the Michael Jackson experience.
Stop.
That they had hilarious. There for a while.
He made history.
Yeah, and then he worked all around. He worked at a bunch like the Matterhorn. He worked at like all that stuff.
That's cool.
He knows all the lore. He told.
And he probably witnessed people scatter their loved ones' ashes.
Yes. He literally told me like he would see people like doing like you don't get this reference, but like the Andy Dufresne in Shawshank, where like they like would cut a hole in their pocket and like walk around like shit. There'd just be like a trail of dust behind
like crop dusting.
And he's like, "That's your fucking dad, dude. Like, what are we doing?" But yeah, and so and then my mom was a tour guide.
Oh, cool.
So she met like a bunch of famous people. Yeah. So that's fun little lore.
What a neat little love story.
Yes,
the Eggerts.
Definitely.
Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely. You'll get more Disney lore coming up here throughout the episodes because that's like all the stories they tell me. Then they're all awesome. But anyway, so they met there and they were talking. And then my mom was graduating college and she was like, hey, you should come to my graduation. My whole family's going to be there. Maybe we can.
Whoa.
I was about to say maybe we can make this, like official. And my dad was, I forget, but he was driving back from somewhere. Like he was on like a trip or something. So he was like, I will try to make it, but like, it's going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
And once again, this was back when like the relationship, like, who knows what's going to happen here. Exactly. So he gets there. The graduation has ended, but he was like, and so he circled the building, like, cause it was at like a basketball arena. He circled the building like 3 times. And like couldn't find her, and so he was just like, shoot, okay, and like they didn't have phones, so he couldn't just be like, where are you, right? And so he was like, I'll take one more lap, and then that's it. On the last lap, finds her, and then everything else happens, right? And then
you're born.
And so and then so my dad always tells me he's like, I can't. I think I get that belief from my dad. He's just like, he tells me that story and he's just like, I just can't. After that, like, I can't believe that was just an accident that happened.
Yeah. If he had gone home, like,
if traffic was 10 minutes worse, or like all these different things that could have happened, that could have prevented him, but they didn't happen.
You're not as much of a skeptic as you think you are.
Exactly. So I wanted to say that. Another fun fact about my dad, another place he worked at, was actually one of the more famous ghost locations.
Stop.
He worked at the Queen Mary, which is like one of the more famous ghost places apparently. Mm-hmm. And he has some stories that he's told me about seeing like people in Victorian dresses walk across the hallway or something.
Sick.
And he also like he said like, you know, there's like someone died in this room doing this, someone died in this room doing this. One of the more famous ones is the engine room is apparently the most haunted place because a lot of people died there.
Of course it would be, yeah.
Because a bunch of like machinery and stuff. And so he was like, one time he heard like a blood curdling scream from his office, like blood curdling, and he was like,
yeah,
guys, I think I'm gonna clock out for the night. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I'm out, y'all.
But I don't. And once again, that to me, that's just kind of like you work at a notoriously haunted place, so your mind is in that zone.
No.
And there's a bunch of machinery. Who knows what kind of noise that would have made that mistake?
Justin, if you worked there, you would not go to that place, and you would definitely hear shit like that. Like 100%. 100%. When you go into a place, you don't feel the vibes of it. You're not a vibes guy.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a vibes guy.
You're
sure.
Vibes? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
We need to go on a ghost tour. We're close to a bunch of ghost tour situations.
That's true. Yeah. I lived pretty. I grew up pretty close to like Goatman's Bridge. That's a pretty famous one too. Have you heard of Goatman's? I don't know what that is.
No.
I don't know the story behind it, but it's just a bridge that's like haunted. But right. I think like a lot of people have debunked it though. Like they go there and just like fuck around and then nothing happens. Then
See, I'm not one to fuck around with all that. Would you do a Ouija board?
Yes.
What?
I just don't.
Hell no.
Here's the thing. I don't trust anyone enough to do a Ouija board with, because I want results. Like I want statistics. But there's no one in my life.
I'm gonna force you and Luis to do a Ouija board together.
But there's no one in my life.
Not in my house though.
There's no one in my life who I 100% know and can trust that they won't move it on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Luis is just as much of a skeptic as you are.
Okay.
But I do not want that in my house, and I don't want that attached to me, so he's out.
And then Zoe's giving me the no-go. So I guess we can do it like outside or something. Nope. I don't know.
No, because what if that shit gets attached to you? What if they're like, hey, y'all are fun?
Anyway, it's like and then I think also another thing that poisons my brain is like all of the clearly fake stuff that happens.
Yeah, those people ruin it for everybody.
Do you remember was it Charlie was the name of the ghost? Where you put two
with the pencils?
Yes.
Yes.
And people were like, oh my God.
People would do that in homeroom. And I'm like, are y'all stupid? Yes. Like, genuinely, are you stupid?
And so then, like, I think that, like, gives a bad rap for spiritualists in my brain, where I'm just like, this is what we're doing now.
Yes. So I think on the agenda for the podcast, we need to have a tarot reader on here. Because I'm sure you don't believe in that.
I want an astrologist.
I know some.
Good.
So we'll have them on. We'll have them on pending, because I do believe in that also. Surprise.
That I'm even more skeptical of than ghosts. I think astrology is 150% bullshit, and I would love to talk about it.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Crazier than thinking the stars are adjusting your personality.
They're not adjusting your personality.
They're creating
Justin. They're simply creating it. No, the knowledge of astrology for most people is very like, you're an Aquarius, so you're creative. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not that.
Okay.
There's so many different things that go into it.
Okay.
And again, this is subject to change. I might in 5 years not believe in any of this shit, but right now,
you're in it.
Trust and believe.
Absolutely.
I don't know. There's so many layers to it that it's just not explainable by, I'm an Aquarius sun. I'd be curious to see the rest of your chart though.
Yeah, I don't know it. Yeah. But
yeah.
But yeah. I think that would be a very fun thing.
I would love that.
How about this? Is there anything spiritual or like new wave that you are skeptical of? Or are you just like...
Oh, probably.
Okay.
If you go do ayahuasca in the jungle in South America, I think... And you're not indigenous, I think that you are really on one and you need to reevaluate.
Okay.
But again, that could be subject to change. So I'm not really into the like... I'm going to go get fucked up in the jungle and like it's going to make me see God.
I'm going to go into the woods at night, do some shrooms and see... who I come out the other side.
Right. I knew a girl in high school though that did. This isn't funny. Sorry, sister. Sorry, sister. No, I'm telling it. Sorry, sister. Ain't my story to tell, but you told me in aquatic science junior year, and I will be sharing. She said that she went into the woods in my hometown, like North Houston. Not a place to have a spiritual awakening, in my opinion. I'm sure it could happen, but
nowhere within a hour driving radius of Houston.
I think Houston is a black hole. I think Houston is a black hole. But anyway, she went into the woods, the suburbs of Houston.
Who's that fucker who owns the mega church in Houston?
Joel Osteen.
That's the core of the black.
That's the core of the black hole. And my granddad actually went to church with his dad in Baytown, Texas, in the 50s and 60s. And he knew the Osteens.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and his daddy was a pastor. And then Joel started doing all that name it and claim it stuff, and boy, here he is. Anyway, so this girl in my aquatic science class junior year did tell me that she went and she dropped acid in the suburban woods of Houston, Texas.
Okay, naturally.
And she took like 2 tabs of acid as like a 16-year-old in the woods outside with her friend. And her friend was tripping and took her phone, both of their phones, and abandoned her in the woods. And she tripped for like 14 hours, went missing, laid in a ditch, and met the devil. And then she had to go to therapy for a couple years. She met the devil. And I really think that if I did any psychedelics in my hometown, I would also meet the devil.
If I dropped acid if I dropped LSD in Houston.
In Houston,
who else
that
is
my
gonna meet
hell.
you there? Yeah.
That surely, I mean, Houston in general is kind of my hell.
Sober, I'd meet the devil in Houston.
I've met the devil.
Hours.
I've met the devil on I-10 many a time. So I kind of believe her. I kind of believe her.
Horrifying.
I hope she's doing all right now. I really hope so.
That's what I'm talking about. Are you still friends with this person?
No, we weren't really ever like friends. Like we went to middle school together and stuff.
This is what I tell people this a lot. I love that people are more open to like sharing like stuff about their mental health. That is not a story for a stranger.
I love that was a story for a stranger. I love that was a story for me. I think about that a lot.
No, yes, but I just could not like it. That's a lot. Were you like in class when she told you this?
Oh yeah, we were cleaning out our fish tank.
Yeah.
We were cleaning out our fish tank and she was like, "Yeah, girl, I met the devil." I'm like, sure you did.
Please continue.
I'm sure you did. I need to hear that story. Do strangers come up to you and tell you crazy shit?
Yeah. Yes. I've only really I'm usually not open to it. I usually try to shut it down.
Yeah.
One time though, I was like, bring it on. Because I was like with a group of friends. And then this guy, like, there's people who are going to tell you weird stories who are like, I feel very uncomfortable talking to you. I don't know what's going to happen if I like say the wrong thing around you. You know, just like a scary person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's people who are like, I'm going to tell you something crazy. And you're like, this person's going to do nothing wrong to me.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait.
I'm here for this story.
And he was I was with a group of friends, we were at a bar, and he just came up to us, and he's like, "Can I just say, I've been, and listen, this guy was standing like from this wall to that wall, like maybe 10 feet away from us at the most. Like we were at a table, and he was at another table, just like sitting up against it, going, for 30 to 45 minutes.
Ooh, that would send a chill up and down my spine.
Yeah, and so I was keeping an eye out, glancing over, just to make sure that like nothing bad was going to happen.
Right.
Eventually, he came up to us and was like, "Listen, I've been sensing your guys' energy." Yeah, and
okay,
I was like,
yeah.
And then he was like, and then I had a friend with me, Jacob, and he just knows exactly how to talk to crazy people.
I love the crazy people translator.
He just knew exactly what questions to ask, and he got him talking about how he believes in the 9 realms of the Nordic mythology, like Midgard and Asgard and Niflheim, Jotunheim.
So you know this.
All that jazz.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how, we're stuck in Midgard, but you can, train your... I swear to God, he did this. He was like, right, because we have a certain energy level, right? And so it hovers around here. So right there, I just raised my energy level to a different point.
My God.
I swear on my fucking life. And he meant it.
And he did.
He meant it. And I was enthralled. And then my friend Jacob...
believe that he did.
And then he asked after we were done, he asked my friend Jacob for a ride home. And he was like, sure.
He let that man get in his car?
He drove him because we were in Austin. I was in college at the time. We were in Austin. He drove him 20 minutes north of this place called the Domain, which is like a big outdoor shopping center. Basically, it's really nice. And he was like, oh yeah, do you live in one of these apartments? He's like, no, you can just drop me off right here. He was in the parking lot, and then he just left. And my friend Jacob, he had such a good line about it. He was like, I don't get people like that. It's like, the secrets of the universe, but you're sleeping in the parking lot of the Domain.
I think that's the only people that can know the secrets of the universe. You're not cut off from the rest. That's so Grace is also a magnet for crazy people. In the best way.
We already talked about Cookie. The one on the top. Yeah, Cookie, right?
Cookie, on the plane. Yes.
Was that in episode 1 or am I... Okay, yeah.
That was episode 1, I do believe. But anyway, Grace is a magnet for, I don't want to say crazy people.
People who are very open.
People that are tapped into something I'm not. Could be drugs, could be otherwise. This man, we're at the farmer's market in the square area. And this was 2 years ago. This was the first couple months of us living together. We're yeah, we're going to go to the market. We're it's me, Grace, and Louise. And, we're just chilling. We're hanging out. We're at the plant and the tea booth. And this guy is wheeling around, screaming, yelling profanities. This man has no legs. He's in a wheelchair. I'm painting you a picture here. This man has no legs. He's in a wheelchair. He is covered in green stuff. I don't exactly know what it was. I don't know if it was paint. I don't know if it was schmutz. I don't know if it was mold. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea.
Algae. He just came out of a lake.
Truly, that kind of vibe. He looked like he could have crawled out of a bog. In the best way, I guess. And he was tapped in. This is something that I'm not with, and I'll get to it later. This is something I'm skeptical of, okay?
Okay.
There was a woman at a booth. Everyone was like, this man is yelling profanity and rolling around and just really just spewing nonsense.
Hurting the vibes of this farmer's market.
Well, he was in, I think, a different plane of existence at the time.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And the people at the market, farmers market people. I love farmers market people.
They are not equipped to...
But they really, this one woman at the mushroom booth, not psychedelic, just regular.
But...
Could be psychedelic at some point.
She probably
understands,
counter,
yeah. She probably understands the vibes of a psychedelic mushroom there. Probably grows them. But she said, yeah, he's plugged into something we're not. We're plugged into something, and other cultures, he'd be considered a shaman. And I'm like, dude, get a fucking grip, actually.
No, yeah.
So this man wheels up to Grace. I'm looking at plants. And he's talking to Grace. And Grace will talk to anybody.
Of course.
And does talk to everybody. And they're just talking whatever. I don't remember what he says to her. But I then turn around and he's holding an AutoZone gauge. It's like a gauge. It's like a silver coin. Car people, I forgot what it's called, but car people, you know what I'm talking about. It says AutoZone on it, and it's got numbers and stuff all around, and a hole in the top. And he puts it to her chest and goes, "Wow, isn't that magical? I mean, look, that just lit up her face." And me being me, I go, "Oh my God." What? I mean, wow. And Grace is because this man is touching her. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. And he goes, I want you to have this. I got this when I was walking around London. He has no legs. I got this when I was walking around London. I saw it fall off the back of Jesse James' horse. I said, yep. Yep. He said super glue some broken glass on it. It was also hanging off of his ear on a string originally, and he took it off to give it to Grace. Break some glass, some red and orange glass, super glue it on there. It'll look like fire. It'll empower you. It'll keep you safe. And Grace kind of looks away and he goes, "You're looking for your father." And she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool." And we walk away. She still has the gauge, I bet. Like, I really do believe that. But it cracks me up. He said that he was opening an acupuncture place. I've still have never seen him back there.
Maybe he was a spirit.
I think he was a spirit.
Maybe he didn't exist. Yeah.
I think he was a spirit. And he said that he had an interaction with a group of women in London also saying something about their fathers. I don't know. But he was tapped into something. I do agree with the mushroom lady. I don't think that it was being a shaman, but I do think that he was tapped into something I wasn't. If you were a ghost, what location would you haunt?
Fucking... Maybe like HEB or something.
You would haunt HEB?
I don't know. Yeah, and just like fucking... I don't know what the powers that ghosts have. I feel like it's pretty inconsistent from the accounts of people. But like if I can manipulate physical objects...
You're throwing milk at people?
I'm throwing shit. Yeah, I'm throwing shit. People are like... I'm
putting
my finger on
milk.
the scale whenever like they're weighing fish at the
counter.
That's
so evil.
Yeah.
That's evil.
People are like... like... They have their cart and like they're like looking at something else. So I'd put an item from their cart back on the shelf. I thought I grabbed the yogurt. You did?
You did.
So did I.
Amen. I would haunt a Rainforest Cafe.
Now there.
Yep, I'd haunt the
That's a great
Rainforest Cafe,
answer.
and I specifically in the Katy Mills Mall. I would haunt the elephant whose jaw is hanging on by a thread.
You guys had one too?
Oh boy, did we have one.
It's called Katy Mills.
Katy Mills Mall.
Up in the DFW. Grapevine Mills.
Oh, have you seen the video of the guy who travels to all of the Rainforest Cafes? Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Oh, he went to
Katy Mills. He went to all of them, Justin.
I forgot. I guess I didn't clock that the mall was called Katy Mills.
So most of them are called Mills.
Interesting.
The ones that the Rainforest Cafe are in. But I would haunt specifically the Katy Mills Mall elephant or alligator, and I would...
Oh, like you possess those animatronics.
I would possess them. Or the gorillas. I would smack people with the trees. So basically I would really freak some children out for funsies.
Yeah.
For real funsies. And that would be my thing.
That'd be a good afterlife. That'd be fun.
I think I would really, really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect that in a Rainforest Cafe. It's creepy on its own. And I love Rainforest Cafe.
So then if your spirit is like... And then, like, what happens if, like, Rainforest Cafe, like, goes bankrupt one day? Or if they just close the Katy Mills Rainforest Cafe? Then
I would just float somewhere else.
I was going to say, do you go elsewhere? Or do you just haunt the TJ Maxx or whatever moves into that location, you know?
So that's going to be blasphemous. That's going to be blasphemous to me because... To me, Rainforest Cafe is forever. And I think if you put a TJ Maxx over a Rainforest Cafe, like, hell is hot. Hell is really fucking hot, dude. So yeah, that's a little bit blasphemous, but I think that, I would just move on. I would move on to the next animatronic. I think that's the thing for me. Weirdly, I like animatronics. So I think I would haunt one of those. Chuck E. Cheese.
Disney's got a lot of them.
Disney.
You'd have fun there.
Small World is haunted, apparently.
Yes, that is one of the...
So, maybe I'd make some friends. Did you know that there's a coffee shop in the city in which we reside that has a bunch of haunted objects? They have a haunted room.
What makes an object haunted?
Well, a spirit's attached to it? ?
But I know it can be attached to I can be attached to like the lava lamp.
Well, yes,
for
Justin.
the rest of eternity.
Well, yes.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Maybe you
should
get a Ouija board. Do I get killed by it? No, I think you just pick. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna someone pick to be attached to like wood carving of a duck for the rest of eternity.
I would choose to be attached to an animatronic gorilla. You don't know their fucking life. Hello. I know a guy that got a haunted couch from their coffee shop. And I think that's hilarious.
He's got buds now to watch the game with.
He has buds to watch the game with. And he's actually a horror artist, so it's very, very fitting. But yeah, he says that he loses important shit in it all the time. And it's not just like a regular couch where you like lift up the cushions. It's like gone, and then it just appears in different rooms. Like the spirit that haunts the couch like just moves it around.
Or
don't say it.
He just
or
left
he's
those
ADHD.
items
And
in
here's the
those
thing
rooms.
though. Here's the thing though. And that could be right, but then what are the odds of that?
Pretty high.
No. No. Because I just love the concept of a haunted couch. You don't love that idea? You don't think that's hilarious? That would make a great movie. Write that film, Mr. Man. That would be great.
Yeah, okay.
It's another farmer's market person, by the way.
Maybe the farmer's market has something to do.
Different farmer's market, but the same type of person.
Who would go to a farmer's market and buy a haunted couch? Or bought
that guy's a vendor at the
and then he bought the haunted couch elsewhere at the coffee shop.
And this is no shade of farmer's market people. I spend a lot of time with farmer's market people, and I love them. Favorite genre of person, because you get stories like that.
Yeah, and they sell you their $37 laundry detergent or whatever.
Hey, now, not too much, not too much. There's no laundry detergent at the one that I go to. That's why. That's why you go to the refillery.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. The natural laundry detergent. But I do highly recommend going to that farmer's market that I go to, because it's fun. It's fun.
Go to farmers markets. Support local.
Support
vendors.
local so they can afford to buy more haunted couches.
Yes, exactly. Where else are they going to get that money to buy a haunted couch?
Right. So I've never stepped foot in that room in the coffee shop because I'm scared. But they do have a Jesus picture that's supposedly haunted. So maybe I'll send you in there to do some investigating. And then we'll sage you after, so you don't bring anything back in the house and then freak Zoe out.
Cleanse me, yeah.
Yeah. So, closing remarks.
Closing remarks, yes, please.
What would it take for you to believe in ghosts? What would it take for you to believe in the spiritual realm?
I don't know. I like to die and go to one. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Then, I mean...
like, then you're not a believer.
Now.
It's
just it just happens to you. Would it take a
Demi
Demi Lovato like experience for you to?
Yes, like I would need.
I'm referring to her going into the house and singing "Skyscraper" to the ghost.
Yes. and they
have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
But
she has trauma.
To the people who have not, she sings. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead and look up Demi Lovato sings "Skyscraper" to Ghost. Also, apparently, according to Demi Lovato, ghost is an offensive term to ghost.
I didn't know that.
So there's star people, I think, according to Demi Lovato.
What are they going to do about it?
The woke ghost.
They won't.
The woke ghost.
When will they stop?
When will they stop? Quite. But what would it take for you to believe in ghosts? Like, do we have to go to like on a ghost store?
Like, I would need Abraham Lincoln to like taught. Like, I'm not sleep deprived. I'm not like nothing. I would need like something, like a spirit from the other side, to like have like a clear like conversation with me. Not even a conversation. Just be like, "Yo, it's real," and then fade into mist. That's what it would take to fully convince me, because otherwise there's so many other factors that are at play that it's like how can you trust your own? Like, how many times do you hear like or like feel your phone vibrate, or like think you heard your name called, and it's like, who knows what you heard instead? You might have heard like the fridge start up or something. You might have heard, and you thought it was your name being called because you just like your brain was like trying to make sense of it.
My name doesn't sound like fridge.
It doesn't.
Personally, my name does not sound like fridge. So this never happened to me, but I hear that. It needs to be explicit.
It would need a lot. It would need a lot for me.
So if we went to like the Alamo,
Never forget.
Never forget, by the way. Never forget, by the way. If we went to the Alamo, which is notoriously haunted.
If Davy Crockett himself with his raccoon skin hat.
The wild frontier. Did you watch that as a kid?
No.
Oh. New movie on the list.
Okay, good. About. Yeah. If he himself was like, yo, dog, get me out of here.
No offense. I don't think a ghost is going to show themselves to you, a person who notoriously does not believe in ghosts.
Why? I should be the first person they show themselves to.
You need to help me. They're not going to go to somebody who doesn't believe that's real.
That's fair.
That's, I feel like, a waste of energy for them.
Also, why are where are the ghosts? Everyone has a camera on them now, at all times, and there's
video evidence of ghosts.
There's fake shit.
Do I need to find it for you, Justin?
Listen, I've seen them all, and they're all either like CGI, or it's just like a flare in the camera, or like a lens flare, or like an orb passes in front of the camera, and they're like, there's Christopher Reeves right there.
But you don't think it's a little bit fun? Even if I'm a little bit skeptical about the orbs and shit. I took a picture when I was in Manitou Springs, Colorado, when I was in 10th grade at a haunted mansion in Manitou. I don't remember what it's called, but they were there's this little girl that shows up in a blue orb, and if you take a picture, she might show up. And I'm like, okay, vibes. Take a picture. There's a blue orb in the thing. Totally could have been a reflection. Definitely was. But you don't think it's a little bit fun to believe? You don't think it's
fun.
A little bit.
It's like aliens.
It's like aliens. It's like mermaids. Just why not? What's the harm?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Yeah, you don't believe in Bigfoot.
Stuff. I don't think I believe in Bigfoot. I think I don't think I believe in the Loch Ness monster or any of those. I think some cryptids could exist. It's just
say why not?
It's just as technology progresses, and maybe I'm brain controlled. Maybe the government's got me, Yes. But I just think as technology advances and the more stuff we learn, it's we would have seen it by now, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, because and I agree with you 100% on that. I really do.
Aliens, I don't think we can. There's a topic.
Do you not believe in aliens?
There's a topic. No, sneak peek, I guess. It won't be next episode, but we'll talk about it eventually. I believe that aliens exist. I do not believe they have been to Earth.
Okay.
I don't believe that a spacefaring civilization has come to Earth and to visit us.
I believe that.
What I believe.
I believe you.
But to not believe in
But I also don't give a shit if they have. I don't care. I really don't care if aliens have been to Earth or not. Not my business.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
At the end of the day, I would haunt an animatronic gorilla.
And I would haunt an HEB. And I would make all of the moms just I'd be their last straw, yeah.
Oh, so you're a misogynist.
And the dads too. Anyone.
Okay.
Anyone who looks like they're anyone who looks like they're having a rough day.
Oh, so you just hate everybody.
That's what I'd target.
That's equality.
Yeah.
It's equality. Well, peace.
Yeah, we don't know what the next episode's gonna be, but we'll surprise you. I think we have a good idea.
We have a lineup. When we do start talking about movies, shows, whatever, we'll give you a heads up.
Yes.
We'll give you a heads up. We'll tell you, tune into this. This is your homework for the week.
Yes. We'll be watch this one for next week's episode if you want to not be spoiled by the movie or whatever.
Yeah, because we don't do spoilers. We want you right here with us.
Exactly.
You're in this studio, which is just the office/guest room.
Yep. Woo! See you next Tuesday.
Bye.